Hello, and welcome to How to Mod Star Wars Battlefront 2. Today I'm sort of going to be going over the round trip of going from Frosty to Blender and then taking your custom model from Blender to back to Frosty. This will not involve any rigging. This is for people who just want to import the models. At some point, I do want to make a rigging video, but it is just a lot of work. And it's really more of a Blender tutorial thing and not a modding thing. So, first thing, you are going to want to set up a folder somewhere that you're going to export files to. So I have my samples folder here, so I'm going to call it. I'm going to copy this directory. Next thing you're going to want to do is download the plugins that I will link in the description. Two of them are Frosty plugins, and one of them is a Blender add-on. You don't need the Blender add-on. It just makes things a little bit easier for people. You can completely do it without. You can also do it without the one of the Frosty add-ons. It just makes using the Blender add-on easier. You'll see why in a moment. So once you have them downloaded and installed, then we can start. Menu up, open Frosty. You'll see your auto load generator here. And then the other one that you'll be getting is the mesh set exporter, which is right here. So first thing you want to do is open up your mesh. I'm just going to use this because I already have a model set up for it, which makes it a little bit easier. You'll open it up and you'll see export res files right here. So you'll click that. Then you'll navigate to wherever you created that folder I told you at the start. So mine is in this samples folder I've created. And you will just click save. And then it will say exported two files. And so that is the blocks file and the mesh res file, which is all you need. Realistically, you only need the mesh res file, but that's not how this plugin works. All right, so then I'm going to close this. We don't need to look at that anymore. And then you see now we have this folder here with these two files. The next thing you're going to need to do is open Blender and install the add-on. The way you do that is you go to Preferences, here, Add-ons, and then once you go to here and click Install from Local File and install the zip file that you'll download, it will show up here. And then if you press N, it will bring up the side panel and it will be listed under Frosty Mesh on the sidebar here. Then what you're going to do is click this little folder icon on the template tab and go to wherever you put your samples folder. So mine's already there because I already set it. And then once you've done that, it will list all the meshes that you've exported. Then what you do from there is select the one that you're replacing. It will create a collection with that name for all the, I think it's all the, no, just whatever the mesh is called. You can also manually browse to the file, but that's just a fallback if it doesn't find the one that you want. Then here, what you're going to do is you're going to pick your mesh either here or here, and then whatever armor set you're going, not armor set, whatever material slot you're going to be using, you want to click here. Ignore this one. This is not correct. Sorry if you can hear the plane in the background. So I'm using Obi-Wan's armor. So I'm going to assign that, and you see it's renamed it to what it needs to be, and then it lists it here as being assigned. You can turn off auto rename if you want to. I prefer it to be to rename it because then you know it's done. Then what you need to do is go, you don't need to do this bit if your mesh is already set up correctly. So for instance, both your skeleton and your mesh need to have these transform values. So no location, 90 degrees on the x-axis, 0 for everything else, a uniform 1 scale. Your mesh also needs to have that before you parent it to the skeleton. If it isn't, easy way to check that is just to unparent it and keep transforms, and you'll see they stay the same. I'm just going to do that. If it does that, you can keep it parented to the skeleton and just click this button, and it will do all the stuff that's necessary to fix the transforms. So it unparents it, applies the transforms, rotates it, applies again, rotates it, and then puts it back onto the skeleton. Does all that in one click. It makes it very easy. Then, once you're ready to export it, pick a folder for it to go to, and pick a model file name, and then set the export scale to 0.01. It should be that by default. If it's not, then set it to that. This just uses Blender's export scale. That's why you need to set it to 0.01. That's what Frosty needs. And then what we do is press export, and it's done. You can see where it's exported it to right here. So then, once you've done that, you can go back to Frosty. Now you don't open the mesh when you're going to do it. You just right click, import with auto load, and then here, this is the model we exported. Open, you get this menu here. Pick your preset or whatever. Turn on, I like to have lock borders on. You don't have to. And then you click import. And then your model is imported. Woo, it's done. And that is the full sort of setup for all these plugins. I have a tutorial already for the cloth plugin. I'm not going to go over that again here. But this just makes things easier for just all the steps, even for people who know what they're doing, for people who don't know what they're doing. It just makes the whole process a bit faster, as you can see here. Didn't take me very long. If you have any comments, leave them below. I've read the ones on the previous video, and I'm going to get to some of them. Me and some other people are working on some other plugins to make some other parts of Frosty less hair pulling. So I'll make tutorials on those when they're done. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.